Hey guys, it is Jennifer coming from the Tyler Rose Garden today. It is my very first art lesson on my channel. I'm excited you're here. I'm excited that I'm here finally doing this. It's been asked for a long time and I've been asked to have art lessons for a very long time, but this is a way. It's free, everyone can enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy today's lesson. It's going to be on drawing and shading with graphite. Super basic intro lesson, but it's the first step in learning how to be an artist, so I hope you join me in my studio. Let's go! Alright, let's get started. I am using a mixed media Canson paper. It's good for acrylic, watercolor, pen, pencil, whatever your heart desires. I stole this one from my daughter because I wanted a large surface. So, oh, here we go. We've got some dragon art. We find a blank page. Here we go. All right. It's good to start with this, a large flat surface. There are several tools I recommend. It's nice to have a good set of pencils. I've got a few here. This brand is the Rowney. It's a decent brand. I think this was purchased from Michael's. Right there. And then this is a Windsor brand. Anything will do, even your ordinary pencil will do if you want. I also have a mechanical pencil, just to show you all the difference here. Everyone's seen these, they're by Bic. And a Hi-polymer Eraser by Pentel, kind of like your basic end of the pencil eraser, but it's in a nice block form. And then there is a Kneaded Eraser, which is really nice. It's kind of sticky, tacky. You can get it teeny tiny down here. You can make it any shape. It comes in a rectangle like this. And one thing, if you want to, if it's going to be your final product, a fixable workative, you can use a permanent or fixable. Fixable lets you go and change things. The permanent seals are for good, so if you don't want to make any changes to it. I don't typically use anything but the workable fixative just when I need it. All right, let's do this. All right, I also have some woodless pencils, which are my favorite, but for purposes, it doesn't really matter. So, the first pencil we have is a 2H. 2H is going to be your lightest pencil in this set. It is the hardest lead. All right, 2B.
Sorry, that's 2H.
And then the next up is HB, I believe. Kind of doesn't really matter. But this is kind of your standard pencil. This is HB. I wonder if 2B is darker or lighter. It's darker. It's just a softer lead. There's 2B. And here's a 4B. I should make that uniform. I'm sure that drives some of y'all crazy. Let's see, there's 6B. Yeah. 6B just gets pretty dark. And then 8B, which is really dark. 6B and 8B, they're pretty similar. You probably don't need both. This set just came with it. So, oops. There's all the different types. You can definitely see how they get darker. Typically, you can get by with maybe a 2B. Everybody normally has HB in this set. 4B, 6B. 8B is kind of rare. 2B, I don't see a lot. No, this is 2H, sorry. Forgive me. 2H. That's going to be your hardest pencil and the lightest pencil. And then this one is the woodless, which is a 2B. I like the woodless because you can use the whole thing. You can hold your pencil up here and get the fine line, or it makes a nice thick, kind of like a carpenter's pencil. Just makes a nice thick line if you want to do some shading that way. So speaking of shading, let's go into that. All right, for just purposes, we're starting with a 2B. There are lots of ways you can shade. A lot of people think there's only one way, which is the value gradation, which is a great way. That is when you start softly or hard. Let's start hard. That's easier. And then you just lighten up your pressure. You know, it's pretty basic, pretty easy to see. But the big thing about this is don't hold your pencil, you know, like super close to the paper. It'll be hard to get the movement you need. I mean, you can still get the gradation, but it's just a lot more rigid on your wrist. It'll make you get pretty tired. So holding it kind of loose when you're drawing. I hold my pencil incorrectly, but hey, it's got me this far. I don't think that matters as much. You know, they try to get you to school to hold it right, which might, you know, I do have carpal tunnel, so that might be why, but probably not. Keep it loose in your hand, keep it flexible. So you start pretty heavy. You can go over it again, go back and forth. If you want to do this style, that's great. It is a classic, traditional, you know, just value shading. And you can even make, when I was in drawing class at Baylor, we had to do a lot of this, where you make your levels. You know, this level would be your darkest. Like, how dark can you make this pencil go? Which, you can do that. It goes pretty dark. And then you'd lighten this one up. You know, maybe just 2 passes. And then you'd lighten this one up. I probably should have gone a little lighter, but that's okay. And, you know, we'd probably have to use some different pencils than this one, but, you know, you can do this for each, just to learn how to do it. It's a good way to teach yourself the different values. But anyway, this is just a basic gradation. Start hard, and then you lighten up the pressure. It's effective, it's nice, it's very popular. And then we have one of my favorites, which is hatching. I tend to like a little bit of texture. I am more of a sketch drawer, I would say, sketch artist. I don't do like a single line. I do lots of lines. And cross hatching is a way to build your value. You know, you go over it and over and over again. And then say I want some lighter down here. I just bring the lighter touch. It's kind of my favorite way to do it. You know, I really do, when I draw, I'll use all of these techniques. I think you saw up here when I was doing cross-hatching up here on mistake, but, you know, we're not formal around here. But it's a nice way to get some texture in there and build on your drawing. It's just kind of a matter of preference, you know, art is whatever you want it to be. And then stippling, a little George Seurat style, is when you make tiny dots. It's a little more tedious, not normally what I would do, but it's a fun way. Like if you had, say you were drawing a plant and you wanted to draw some grass, and in front of the plant, you know, say you're outside doing a landscape. This would be a fun way to do it. You know, you can start out dark and show your light in the grass with different hatches, and you could even go over this with a line or two of gradation and kind of combine it. And like, say you have a circle and you're doing some shadows. I don't know if y'all can see, that might be too small, but it's kind of fun to play around with. Stippling, or kind of like a hatch. Hatch would be more probably like this, where you line it out. And then you can go lighter. And even lighter. And that's kind of when you would switch to a lighter pencil too. Some of these are so dark, like that 2B is pretty dark. And 8B, you know, super easy to go dark. Where's the 2? Where's that 2H pencil? I feel like they need to make these like totally different colors to help us people who don't see that well. Okay, so here's a 2H. Like that's just super easy to go light with a 2H. You can barely see it. Super easy to change, you know, on something like a 2B. Like this would be so easy to do this way. Like I'm barely pressing, but it's even lighter than this one right here. So that's why the pencils come in handy when you're doing shading. And see all my gray smudges. If I had workable fixative, that would stop that. Let's see. Scribbling, that's a fun one. I'll do scribbling with a 2B. Might get a new page. So scribbling, it's just what it sounds like. You are scribbling. But it's kind of like cross-hatching where you go over it and you go over it. And it's easy. And then you can lighten up with a 2H. I guess they do have, I mean, come on, they do have lighter colors. I'm just not paying attention because this is white and they get darker. Yeah, I'm a moron. 6B is black and it has a darker palette. Yeah, okay. I'm super observant, aren't I? But like 6B, easy breezy to scribble dark. And then you can take the 2B, scribble light. You can see that nice gradation there. Super easy, kind of fun, a little bit different. This is more my style than like the photorealism sketching. It's good to know how to do it. Do I like to do it? I feel, no, not my favorite thing. I'm a little more loose. I'm a little more freestyle. You know, it's my style. So it's all subjective. Art is what you want it to be. Art is what you like it to be. You can develop your own style. There are no mistakes in art, which is my favorite thing to say. My child she goes bananas because I say that all the time. But I think some people take art too seriously. It should be fun. It should be creative. Experiment. You know, my best work comes from happy accidents, like Bob Ross says. Meet Hank. This is why I'm wearing lots of cat hair in my intro video. I apologize. His tag says Luna, but he stole it just like Finding Dory. So here, I'm going to do some of these in some of the styles we talked about. I'm going to time lapse it because this video doesn't need to be 5 hours long, but I hope you enjoy and let me know what you think. And I hope you try some of these. And if you do try some of these, send me a message on Instagram. I'm Jennifer Moreman Artist on there. I'd love to see what you do. Yeah, enjoy. Alright, I hope y'all enjoyed that. My least favorite is definitely stippling because I am impatient and that's something I should work on. But I do use this one a lot when I'm painting, and I am a painter. That's what I generally do the most. And I think it's super important if you want to paint that you learn how to draw first. I use all of these techniques in my painting, and especially the values and the gradations. That was the cat, sorry. You have to learn the importance of that in drawing. That's step number one. This is why I did this lesson first. So I hope you do this lesson. I hope you show me what you did. You can send me pictures on Instagram. Jennifer Moreman Artist, I think that's what it is. I'll put it down below. Let me know what you think, and I'm not a daily drawer. That is not my main medium, but I hope you learned something and hope you had a good time. Thanks. In our next lesson, we're going to learn how to draw some flowers, so see you soon.